what does it mean when the tax tail is wagging the dog? So as business owners, oftentimes because of the heavy tax burdens that many business owners have, they look for avenues or opportunities to save money on taxes. And some of these might just be deductions or reinvestment in the business, and others are some complex investment structure or some product or something that creates a tax savings, but also comes with a lot of restrictions in the future. And the immediate pain that business owners often face is this tax bill. And if there's a way for me to cut this tax bill in half or take a percentage off, I want to take advantage of that. The danger in that decision making is that can be quite myopic, as in we're looking at the current decision, how to save taxes right now, but we're not looking at the long-term impact as to this capital that's now tied up in this complex tax savings vehicle. Is this money that we might have needed for the company's expansion? One day, if we want to get money out of this complex, tax vehicle, how easy is it to get the money out? And then third is, what is our opportunity cost on that capital now being in a different vehicle when it could have been in an alternate? And how big of a net tax savings is there at the end of this period of time? What I notice oftentimes with business owners is they look for the instant gratification of tax savings and they're not thinking about the long-term picture. And if you can take a minute to be a little more intentional and say, what's the vision that I have long-term? Where am I going with my business? And what is the best way for me to position my resources in the most effective way to meet the business goals? And sometimes what that results in is you might just need to pay the tax. And with the remainder that's left, reinvest it in the most effective way. Sometimes tax savings do make sense, and sometimes tax savings are a shortcut or a remedy versus actually solving the core problem. So my guidance to you or consideration to you is before you just look at a tax strategy that might solve one of your immediate problems, to take time to be really intentional about your vision and what you want to accomplish for your total plan. And then once you have that vision clearly identified, find the tax strategies that can support that vision and give you the best leverage of your capital. A few years ago, I had a business owner that I was working with who had an insurance captive for his company. And each year he was using this as a risk management tool as well as a tax tool to effectively mitigate some of the risk inside of his business and also get a benefit of some tax savings. But when we looked at the actual structure, we found that he wanted and he needed more capital to be reinvested back in the business in order to meet the business's growth goals. We wanted to hire more leadership team members, wanted to reinvest further in the company, and there was this big tax savings that came along with the insurance captive. When he's looking at his total business and strategically saying, where's the best way for me to reinvest capital, the best place was back in his company. And while he might give up a tax savings by not putting money in this other tool, he effectively would have a better net outcome at the end of the period because he was reinvesting where it could generate the best overall return versus just putting money in a vehicle because there's a tax benefit or a tax savings. So it's really important in his case to measure the benefit of a tax savings vehicle versus continuing with your vision and using all available resources to support that vision in the most effective way.